You're listening to TALRadio powered by Touch a Life Foundation, and this is Foodology. I am radio host Devansh, and on this show, I talk about the enormous world of a little word called food. Every year, millions of people around the globe look for the latest trends in weight loss and healthy eating. Whether that be moving to plant-based, calorie-controlled, or other perhaps fattier diets, people are likely to try at least 2 alternative diets in their lifetimes. But weight loss isn't the only motivator for seeking a healthy lifestyle. As the global population continues to live longer, more and more people are consciously choosing diets which help maintain their health and reduce the risk of potential future ailments. And this is where keto comes in. If you followed eating trends in the recent years, you've likely heard of the ketogenic diet. In 2020, keto was the most Googled food-related topic in the world with 25.4 million searches. What exactly is a ketogenic or keto diet? The ketogenic diet, or keto for short, is a low-carbohydrate, high-fat diet that was originally created to treat epilepsy. Fasting and other dietary regimens have been used to treat epilepsy since at least 500 BC. The role of fasting in the treatment of disease has been known to mankind for thousands of years and was studied in detail by ancient Greek physicians as well as ancient Indian physicians. To mimic the metabolism of fasting, the ketogenic diet was introduced by modern physicians as a treatment for epilepsy in 1920s. The research story begins with the first modern study of fasting and its role in epilepsy, which took place in France around 1911. The study found that epilepsy patients who consumed low-calorie diets combined with periods of fasting experienced fewer seizures and had fewer adverse health effects from the condition. For 2 decades, this therapy was widely used. But with the modern era of anti-epileptic drug treatment, it was declined dramatically. By the end of 20th century, this therapy was available in only a small number of children's hospitals. By the 1990s, the ketogenic diet was all but forgotten, and those who studied it relegated it to the realm of historical curiosity, rather than a medical fact. So, what changed? I'll get all into it. The TV show Dateline deserves much of the credit for reintroducing Americans to the ketogenic diet. An October 1994 episode reported on the case of Charlie, a 2-year-old with severe epilepsy whose seizures were out of control, until he started the keto diet. When Charlie sought treatment at Johns Hopkins, fewer than 10 children were being administered the ketogenic diet each year. Viewers watched how the ketogenic diet diminished Charlie's seizures, and the show triggered an explosion of scientific interest in it. The eating strategy attracted so much attention that the child's father directed the film First Do Not Harm in 1997 about their experience with the diet, which starred Meryl Streep and aired on national TV. You might think, how does a ketogenic diet work? Well, scientists still aren't sure, but even when I heard of the diet at first as something with a higher fat consumption, I was skeptical. At a basic level, the ketogenic diet is rooted in the idea that limiting your carbohydrate intake and consuming fats instead. This will put your body in a fasted state, where it will burn ketones instead of glucose, resulting in better health for you. The central idea is that following a meal plan that consists of 60 to 75% fat, 15 to 30% protein, and 5 to 10% carbs in the body to put the body in the state called ketosis. Many people associate fat with the fat in our body, but they never understand it as a fuel source. While your body primarily chooses to run on glucose, which comes from major carbohydrate sources, restricting your carbohydrate intake will cause your body to feel like it's starving. So, it will generate a secondary energy source from fat to continue sending glucose or fuel to the brain. When you limit your carbohydrate supply, your body starts to break down fat into compounds called ketones, which are an alternative fuel source that many people believe has impressive benefits for your health and weight. It is also important to moderate your protein consumption. This is because protein can be converted into glucose if consumed in high amounts, which may slow your transition to ketosis. In fact, our ancestors may have lived a ketogenic lifestyle without being aware of it. As the hunter and gatherers ate lots of nuts, seeds, meats, and lower carbohydrate and processed foods, this is often referred to as primal eating. It likely resulted in ketosis and helped our ancestors survive from one meal to another because their bodies could store the fat as energy. When a lot of people hear about the primal eating or hunter and gatherer eating, they think of the paleo diet. Is the paleo diet ketogenic? It can be. A paleo diet typically includes lean meat, fish, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Foods in the past that could be obtained by hunting and gathering. A paleo diet limits foods that became common when farming emerged about 10,000 years ago. These foods include dairy products, legumes, grains, and processed sugars. Most of this aligns with the keto diet, which includes more fats and less carbs. However, nothing is omitted in a keto diet. There are no hard and fast rules. The only thing that does matter is the ratio of fats to carbohydrates. Another diet I would like to mention here is the Atkins Diet, which is also a low-carb diet. People often confuse it for keto diet. It is similar, but there is a significant difference, which is the macronutrient named protein. Both the Atkins Diet and the keto diet are high-fat and low-carbohydrate diets. But a ketogenic diet has a moderate protein consumption, whereas the Atkins diet does not set a limit for protein intake. But why does this even matter when the energy source for our bodies is glucose obtained from carbohydrates and ketones obtained from a high-fat diet like keto? Well, the Atkins diet helps through a process known as gluconeogenesis. Proteins can also be converted into glucose, hence an energy source. So, if your diet consists of a higher content of proteins, that will be converted into glucose to be used as fuel. In a keto diet, any foods that are high in carbohydrates should be limited, like sugary fruits, soda, fruit juices, smoothies, cakes, ice creams, grains, wheat-based products like rice, pasta, cereals, fruits except small portions of berries like strawberries. Beans and legumes should be avoided like kidney beans, lentils, chickpeas, etc. Root vegetables that are high in carbohydrates like potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrots should be avoided. Condiments like barbecue, mayonnaise, honey mustard, ketchup, etc. Processed foods, alcohols should be avoided. On a brighter note, you should base the majority of your keto meals on the following foods like meats, red meats, hams, sausages, bacons, seafood like salmon, trout, eggs, which are a great source of omega-3, butter and cream, cheeses, nuts like almonds, walnuts, flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, etc. Healthy oils, avocados, low-carb veggies like tomatoes, olives, onions, peppers, etc. Condiments like salt, pepper, herbs and spices, and stevia. These are the foods that you can easily include in a ketogenic diet. soft drinks are notoriously packed full of sugar, making it incredibly difficult for those following a keto diet to get their thirst quenched by anything other than water. Carbonated, sugary drinks and fresh fruit juices are unsuitable for keto diet due to the amount of sugar in them. More and more brands are turning to low-sugar alternative sweeteners, particularly the natural ones like stevia. You've probably started hearing the term hard seltzers being used a lot more over the last few months. This is a relatively new category within the alcoholic drink sector that has experienced an incredible growth since 2020. Although they weren't developed specifically for keto diet, they offer those on a diet a refreshing, light alternative to high sugar or high carbohydrate beverages such as fruit cocktails and beers. The hard seltzers category remain relatively immature, and without a doubt, the next few years will see a lot of movement as more brands are jumping onto this trend. Now, it can be very difficult to get a keto-friendly, off-the-shelf snacks in certain countries or regions, especially snacks that are clearly labeled as keto. As a result, many keto followers have had to experiment with DIY homemade snacks. Well, now that we know how the keto diet works and the process of ketosis, but why would someone want to put their body in a state of ketosis? A primary benefit of ketogenic diet is its ability to achieve rapid weight loss. Restricting carbohydrates enough to be in a state of ketosis leads to both a significant reduction in body fat and an increase or retention of muscle mass. Studies show that a low-carb ketogenic diet is able to help achieve strong weight loss over an extended period. The other benefit of a keto diet is for people with diabetes. A ketogenic diet has the ability to lower and stabilize blood sugar levels. Carbohydrate is the nutrient that raises blood sugar the most. Because ketogenic diets are very low in carbohydrates, they eliminate the larger rises in blood sugar. Mental clarity, an increased ability to focus, and a better memory are other commonly reported benefits of eating a ketogenic diet. Increasing intake of healthy fats with omega-3, such as those found in oily fish like salmon, tuna, and mackerel, can improve mood and learning ability. This is because omega-3 increases a fatty acid called DHA that makes up between 15 to 30% of our brain. Ketogenic diets have a positive effect on our appetites. Once the body adapts to being in a state of ketosis, it gets used to getting energy from breaking down body fat, and this can reduce appetite and cravings. A number of studies have shown that a ketogenic diet can decrease blood pressure levels in people that are overweight or people with type 2 diabetes. Although ketogenic diet is usually safe for most healthy people, there may be some initial side effects while your body tries to adapt to the state of ketosis. Those side effects are referred to as keto flu. To minimize this, you can try a low-carb diet for first few weeks. This may teach your body to burn more fat before you completely eliminate carbohydrates. A ketogenic diet can also change the water and mineral balance of your body, so adding extra salt to your meals or taking mineral supplements may help. Talk to your doctor about your nutritional needs. At least in the beginning, it's important to eat until you're full and avoid restricting calories too much. Usually, a ketogenic diet causes weight loss without intentional calorie restriction. Never let anyone tell you that you cannot have a pizza on a keto diet. Here I have this low-carb version of a pizza that utilizes the power of cauliflower to create the perfect pizza base. For this pizza recipe, you will need about 1 cauliflower, which is around 700 grams, 75 grams or 3/4 cup of almond meal, 1 tablespoon olive oil, 30 grams of grated Parmesan cheese plus extra for toppings, and 2 eggs. For the pizza toppings, you will need 1/4 cup or 60 ml of tomato pasta sauce or even pesto, 100 grams of mozzarella thinly sliced, 250 grams of mixed cherry tomatoes, halved, and some basil leaves. The primary step for making this is to prepare the dough. For this, you need to preheat the oven to 140 degrees Celsius or 284 degrees Fahrenheit. Line 2 baking trays with baking paper. For the dough, you need to roughly chop cauliflower and place it in a food processor. Pulse it until it's very finely chopped and add it to a muslin cloth. Place that over a bowl and squeeze to remove any excess moisture. Spread the cauliflower over prepared trays and bake for 15 minutes to dry it out. Remove and let it cool. Now you return the cauliflower again to the food processor along with almond meal, oil, parmesan, a pinch of salt, black pepper, and eggs. Mix this until a smooth dough forms. Scrape the sides if necessary. Now you need to increase the oven temperature to 180 degrees Celsius or 356 degrees Fahrenheit. Spread this cauliflower mixture over one baking paper lined tray to form a circle and use a piece of plastic wrap to press the mixture down to 1 centimeter thick so that it forms a round pizza base. Cook this base in the oven for 25 minutes or until golden, then remove from the oven. Now you need to increase the oven temperature to 250 degrees Celsius or 482 degrees Fahrenheit. Spread tomato sauce and pesto over the cauliflower pizza base and top with cherry tomatoes, mozzarella, and cook for 5 to 10 minutes or until the cheese is melted and bubbling. Scatter some extra Parmesan cheese on top of the pizza along with basil. And then you serve. Trust me, this pizza is totally worth it. And you won't even have to ditch your keto diet to treat yourself. Ketogenic diet is helping millions of people get in shape. In time, other diets would take years. Weight loss is not the only issue that this fast-growing dietary lifestyle addresses. The reversal of symptoms of various chronic weight-related issues like kidney problems, diabetes, PCOS, and more. The ketogenic diet is a regimen that increases your health span with skin and hair health adding to its benefits. The effectiveness of a keto diet depends upon the way you follow a keto diet. Remember, the keto diet is not just about cutting your carbs. It will also help you greatly when you do it right in all aspects. The proteins and the fat intake, they too play a pivotal role in getting you into ketosis, thus the right shape. It is very important to speak to your doctor about your eating plan and goals before deciding to go on a keto diet. Thank you so much for sticking around on this episode of Foodology.